what you do, give it all of you, and trust the process and keep your eyes on the prize. I can tell you what I'm seeing, you can have it if you dream it. Just be brave and you'll achieve it all, it all.
Okay, it's my turn. Hello, everybody. Hi, how you doing? How are you? Okay, it's Sunday night. Sunday night right here, and very exciting Sunday night. Okay, let's go on. See what's going on here. A lot of people still joining us. Hope you can hear me okay. And just want to welcome everybody to DayTradeSPY.com's Week in Review. We're going to give it another minute or so here, folks. Let everybody join in. I see a lot of people still coming online here, so. Excuse me. Those of you who are already online, big welcome Sunday night. And just want to mention a couple of things that sometimes I get very passionate about what we talk about here, and I tend to speak a little bit too fast. If you find that's the case, just let me know, and I'll certainly slow down a little bit. Or if you find that I'm talking about something you don't really quite understand, let me know that too, and tell you in other words. But if we talk about any technical jargon or anything you might not understand, don't worry about it in this particular webinar. It's not like you're going to miss a whole lot, but I just want to tell you that in advance. In the meantime, why don't you let us know in the questions box where are you all from here? I see St. Louis is already up on the board, and you got Orlando, Florida. We've got New York. We have people up in North Carolina there, Wilmington, North Carolina. Where else do we have people? Tell us know in the questions box where you're all from here this evening, just to get an idea as to where everybody is from here tonight. So just kind of get a good cross section here. All right, here we go. Houston, Georgia, Las Vegas, Richmond, Virginia. Okay, there's some other ones here. Toronto, Canada. There's some more. Okay, another Houston. We've got right, all over the place. All right, cool. Okay, let's get started. Let's get started. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit the record button and then let's move along here. I don't want to keep you too long here. Not even sure we're gonna go for an hour. I mean, we'll see how it goes, right? All right, let's hit the button. All right, good evening again, everybody, and welcome to DayTradeSPY.com. I don't know if you can see me okay. That background seems to be a little bit too. Let's just put this light on, see if that helps at all. Yeah, a little bit. I'm not sure if you want to see me or the background. Let me just see. Can you see a sunset? Not really. It's kind of a dismal day. It actually, you don't. I'm going to lower the blinds so that it's not so bright in the back and makes my face look really dark. Uh, Maybe that's a good thing. All right. How's this? This a little bit better? This we kind of get a little of both, and maybe you'll see some sunset because I've got the sunset in behind me. I love watching the sunset. By the way, anybody watch the Venus Jupiter setup there? I guess every night if you look, depends on where you are, I guess. Where I am, I have to look east. Usually just after the sun goes down, and I'm supposed to be able to see Jupiter and Venus. Um, Tried looking at it yesterday, but last night, but it was all cloudy, couldn't see anything. So anyway, let me know. Let me know. So this is an interactive session, and we'll answer your questions if we can. Okay, a lot of people on. Cool. All right, so June the 14th, and my name is Hugh. All right, again, let us know in the questions box. You'll find a little questions box icon on your Zoom dashboard. Click on that. Now, I am the only one that sees whatever you write in there. Excuse me. So go ahead and say whatever you want, and certainly try and endeavor to get to your questions. All right, what else are we going to talk about here? Here's what we're going to talk about here tonight. We're going to talk about last week, review of last week, the upcoming week. A little 2-minute tutorial. You can answer your questions and get a little contest at the end. The contest tonight, uh, we're going to send out the ebook Triumphs and Tragedies, and we're going to it's going to be it's not a skill testing question or anything. It's just a lucky draw. All right, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna just open up the questions box for questions, and we're going to not questions, but numbers. You're gonna give a number one to 100, and whoever gets the closest, that's who's gonna win it. So anyway, that's what we're gonna do later on, right at the end. And it's actually a pretty cool ebook, 40 some pages, I believe. So it'll be good to have you on and say, wow, lots of people on here tonight. Cool. Love it, love it, love it. Anyway, that's what we're doing tonight. All right, here's the standard disclaimer. We're going to give you a couple of seconds to read this, go over it, and just so you understand. Okay. Okay. All right. Don't forget, of course, you're alone responsible for all your own trading, and past performance does not guarantee future results. All right. All right. So why listen to me? Good question. Why not? Well, I'm a long-time trader. Been doing this a very long time here. Since been teaching this publicly since 2010, but I've been actually trading a lot longer than that. And I mastered some pretty cool techniques, what I call from the trenches. I look for short-term breakout trades multiple times a day. That's kind of my little trick there. Instead of trying to get some massive gains, if I can just pick up a few cents here and there, it adds up very nicely, folks. And I love, so people ask a lot of times, why do you bother doing this when you can make money trading? Are you not really trading? Are you making your money trading or training or whatever? So yes, I make money both trading and training. However, I like the reason I like to train still is because a couple of reasons. Number one, it keeps me sharp, and number two, I really thrive on the success of other people. Uh, you cannot measure the value that you receive when somebody chimes in and says, I made $1,000 today using your strategy, or I was able to send my kids through through university in the last year because they just slowly up and accumulated enough wealth that I could actually get in there and pay for their education. These kinds of things are really truly measurable, and these are the things that I thrive on. I love to hear those stories. So, yes, I can make money just trading if I want, but and that's nice and fun. But some of those other stories you hear, that's really what I love to hear. I just love that. And my motto is simply, if you want what I have, you got to do what I do. All right. So we've been doing this now since 2010. In 2022, we had the pleasure of Eagle Financial Publications, a division of Salem Communications, buy us out. And then they did a funny thing. They actually hired us back. But then they brought on John Johnson. Super nice guy. I'll tell you, he's a very he's an excellent trader as well. Litigation lawyer turned options trader, and he loves what he does. Highly acclaimed in publications in the industry here. He uses highly effective tools to determine trades, and his philosophy is very simple. Take what the market gives you. And his definition of success is very similar to mine. Do what you want when you want. Dig what you do what you dig. That's what life's all about, right? There's something to be said for, making a few bucks in the morning and going and spending it and having some fun in the afternoon. I mean, that's sort of the simple approach, and it really works well. John is an excellent trader. I got to tell you, so John and I, we use actually, what we do is we have our own set of indicators, each of us. All right, so we do the trading room every morning. So John comes with his set of indicators. He likes to use Fibonacci, Andrew's pitchfork, different things like that. Various support and resistance levels. I also like to use support and resistance. And I also like to use exponential moving averages and different things, other things, chart patterns, various things like that. But one thing we have in common is that when we recognize a move setting up, we will announce it in the trading room. And for example, he might say, "Oh, I see I'm getting ready to buy puts. I see a move to the downside getting ready, and I'll take a look and see." John, I agree with you, and I have my reasons to agree with you too. Different than yours, but I'll tell you, real cool motto that John and I have is, when our indicators unite, our trades ignite. So if you're in the trading room and John says, "I think it's going to go down," and I say, "I think it's going to go down," you might want to buy put options. Put options. Now, I don't, excuse me, it's a little bit of a sore throat here tonight. I don't know whether, just see this, take the light off there. I don't know whether anybody is new on. If you don't know what calls and puts are, you might, be lost on what we're talking about. But basically, we trade stock options on one stock, SPY, which is a stock that follows the S&P 500, the top 500 stocks. So you don't need much of a move with options because there's huge leverage. Now, this is not meant to be a whole training thing on options, because I'm pretty sure, at least judging from the names on the board here, and I recognize many of you, that you're familiar with options. But let's say you expect the market to go up. You would buy a call option, call option. And as the market goes up, the value of your call option increases, except because of the leverage, it increases very fast. So if you have, say, and there are things, there are Greeks attached to these options, and one of them is the delta, all right? These are factors, characteristics of options. So the delta, let's say a delta is 50. What that means is that if the stock moves $1, then the option moves 50 cents. All right, that's the delta is the relationship between the option vis-a-vis the stock. Now you might think, well, I'm kind of getting ripped off. I'm only getting 50 cents instead of the dollar. But here's the thing: you're only paying, say, roughly 1/10 of the value of the stock if you buy the option. Therefore, the leverage is proving that you are getting a lot more of an increase with the option than you ever will with the stock. I don't have the calculation here because I don't want to kind of waste your time if you already know what options are and different things, but just trust us that options is the way to go. You're actually minimizing risk. You can get into it a lot for a lot less money. And there's something new that the authorities had come out with. There used to be this $25,000 pattern day trade rule that said that you have to have $25,000 in your account if you're margining so that you can only if you have less than 25,000 you can only go 3 times in and out in a 5-day period. That's to kind of subdue your gambling tendency with trading, and it's just to help you preserve your capital. But they recently relaxed that rule, so you don't have to do that anymore. They took away that $25,000 rule, which enables a lot of new traders, especially, to come into the market because a lot of traders just don't have 25,000 in their account. And for that reason, it makes it a lot easier for people to get in and actually day trade, get in, get out, get in, get out. I think that's really kind of important. Anyway, that's actually pretty cool. So we actually have a pretty good system going with John and myself. Every morning we get together, we discuss market conditions. I'll tell you about the trading room in a little bit. But I also want to tell you that if you have not yet subscribed to Spy on the Market, this is our weekly newsletter. It goes out every Thursday. All right. It's a very brief read. It just takes you a couple of minutes, very light, relevant, even entertaining. We just touch on various things that are relevant during the day, during the time, I should say, in day and age. And this week's topic is going to be buy SpaceX now or wait a year. I know there's a lot of euphoria around the SpaceX IPO, our initial offering here, and actually they made billions of dollars on this thing on Friday. It's just incredible what happened. But anyway, we are going to have that as our newsletter topic for this week, Thursday. So how do you get in on this? Well, all you have to do is go to our website, DayTradeSPY.com, and when a little pop-up comes up at the top, just leave us your email address, and you will be on the subscription list, and you will get this Spy on the Market every Thursday delivered right to your inbox. Now, if you don't want to subscribe, but you still want to read the newsletters, you can still go to our website. Up at the top left, it'll say newsletter. Click on that, and the little menu will come down, and just you can see all the old newsletters up on the board there. And the current newsletter will be up there a couple days after, a day or two after the release of the newsletter on Thursday. So again, this week's topic: buy SpaceX now or wait a year. All right, let's take a look and see what's going on here. This is a look at what happened this week on the stock market. Let's just expand this down here. Excuse me, and take a look and see. We've had kind of a real bouncing kind of a week here. On Monday, SPY recovered about 0.3% off a steep sell-off, not see-off. Okay, gotta get back here. Sell-off, sell-off. Here we go. Okay. The prior Friday, in a broad market rebound of tech and AI related stocks, in part due to easing geopolitical tensions. So what happened was AI and chip manufacturers, there's a lot of overvaluation there, and a lot of the investors are pulling back a little bit, saying, not so sure. Are we in a bubble? I think I'm going to sell some. Made a lot of profit. We hit new highs, new highs, new highs, every day new highs. So the AI sector suffered a little bit there, and there's a little bit of rotation back into the broader market. In fact, it's funny because some of the lesser ETFs, other than the Nasdaq and the SPY, they did actually okay. They're pretty stable, but SPY and the Nasdaq, they actually took a big hit during the last few days on some of these rebounds. On Tuesday, the one-day rebound in AI, artificial intelligence, rapidly lost momentum. Heavyweights, Apple, extended losses as investors reevaluated AI capabilities. Had another loss on Tuesday. There's Wednesday. SPY suffered yet another loss, dropping 1.6%. Hit a 5-week low, right down to 721.23 on Wednesday after the market closed here. A lot of pressure from geopolitical tensions in the Middle East. President Trump threatened to go and bomb them into a kingdom come type of thing if they did not sign their agreement. We were talking about that in the morning trading room. I said, guys, it's not going to happen. Don't worry. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. As it turned out, it did not happen. Last minute, Trump said, no, I'm going to hold off. So, talking about market manipulation, there we go. Actually, that was the topic of a newsletter several weeks ago. Anyway, on Thursday, SPY surged, went up about 1.8%, mirrored a broader market rally that helped equities recover from the chaotic midweek sell-off that we've seen. Came up and sort of came out through some pretty good resistance up in this level up in here, and kept going higher. I thought it was going to be a nice rally, but it was a little cautious on Friday. SPY still edged a little bit higher, gained 0.54% on that potential U.S. Iran peace deal. And the historic I can't even pronounce it, meteoric. Sorry about that. Gotta get the pun on that one. SpaceX IPO, initial public offering. A lot of activity around there. We weren't really sure. We're actually debating that whether the funds for the IPO are going to come from current stock holdings, or is this going to be new money? Are they transferring money from Bitcoin into space? And we're really sure. The Fed's going to print a lot more money. I don't know. But anyway, market held up pretty good, right around that 741 mark as to where it actually closed on Friday. A lot of activity. And it wasn't just SpaceX, but SpaceX actually brought up a lot of the other related sort of companies as well, related to space and all that sort of stuff. So artificial intelligence, there's a lot of stuff going on with that. So anyway, that was kind of what happened during the week. Let's take a look at seasonal charts. Now that blue line, that's where SPY is currently, and the red line is the average of the last 5 years daily close. All right, and so that's kind of where we are there. And if we take a look at drill down, you'll see that historically SPY rose about 6 points last week, but pretty well stayed the same when you go, Friday to Friday into next week. So I'm not really sure where the market's going to end up here at the end of next week. It's going to be fairly flat if we follow what happened historically over the last 5 years. All right. So we'll take a look at that and see where the market goes. So what moved the market here? What sort of happened here? Well, the tech sector took profits after a too far too fast rally, pushed rotation into other sectors. That's good. It's not like there's a big, money's coming out of the stock market and major fear in the market. They're just shifting things around a little bit here. The war in the Middle East appears to be getting closer to a peace deal. Last I saw, and I haven't read the news tonight. Maybe I should just pull it up and see if that peace deal was reached. And of course, I'm not really sure if I'm going to get the news up to date. But Iran Security Council confirms immediate end to war in effect after Trump announces deal reached. So it looks like we might have peace. Peace on earth and goodwill to all men, right? Okay. Trump says peace pact reached with Iran. Oil set to flow through Strait of Hormuz. That is the headline news right now on Fox. And I am going to show you this. I'm not making this up. There it is right there. And there it is. So, wow. That's awesome. We'll see what tomorrow brings. Okay. I'll believe it when I see it. Anyway, so right away, right? Okay, we have some exciting news. SpaceX real-time gauge of investor sentiment and willingness to fund high growth, capital intensive valuations. That was actually the big news item of the week last week. The Fed Reserve remains patient Lots of underlying pressures, though, contained despite headline inflation due to energy. So they think it's just going to be a little spike. But Trump says that once the oil starts flowing, that the that oil inflation related oil related inflation is going to start coming down. Now, I have read reports that don't expect reduction in oil prices and gas prices to come down as quickly as it went up. Might even be into next year before we see oil prices back to where they used to be. All right, by the time everything kind of washes out. Markets transitioning toward the broader leadership, suggesting pullbacks are corrective rather than trend setting. Chip stocks might be taking a bit of a breather. All right, no reason to panic. AI investment is expected to approach $1 trillion. And what I want to do is take this one little space out of there. Okay, let me go back to this again. Okay, there we go. And that's huge. That's a lot of money in AI chips. A lot of chips. $1 trillion will buy you a lot of chips. How much is $1 trillion? Well, if you were to put dollars, was it back to back? It'll reach from here to the moon and back twice. That's a lot of money. It's kind of the money that Elon Musk has now, right? Or at least his valuation. SpaceX hit NASDAQ at $135 a share, popped up to 175 by 2:30 in the afternoon, pulled back down to 160.95 at the close, raised $2.1 trillion. Wow, that is the biggest IPO in history. Chip stocks may be due for a breather after a historic run. Take a look at this chart here. There's the semiconductor, that gold line there. Sort of peaked out way up there and it's kind of trimming back. It's still kind of bouncing around. And there's the S&P 500 plus 26% since last year. Very good moves, but chips really moved up really, really high because of all that AI. So we see the outperformance of semiconductors relative to the S&P 500, reflecting very strong AI demand. Very strong AI demand. So we're going to see how that rolls out in the next little while. I could see it possibly coming down a little bit, but I don't think we're going to see a major pullback on that. AI spending is expected to approach that $1 trillion. This is from the mega stocks. You know, we've got Magnificent Seven, we've got Amazon, Alphabet, Meta, Microsoft, Oracle. These guys are spending tons and tons and tons of money, a lot of capital expenditure into AI. They're going full guns. You know, you can see this graph just shooting right up here. It's absolutely amazing. All right, the average stock now has a lot of catch-up potential versus the mega stocks. So what we see here is the blue line is the S&P 500, and if they put an equal weight on the S&P, there's that gold. Again, it's all AI driven. This thing could come pull down a bit here, and these lines could get a little closer as AI tends to tends to come down in price, perhaps the next little while, but we're not really sure. So now with SpaceX also gearing up and they have all this capital, they might also get into, and I'm expecting they're going to get into this very heavily. I don't see AI as a bubble myself. I think that we're just on the, skimming the surface on some of the stuff right now myself, and we'll see where it takes us. There's a lot of investment in AI, and this is revolutionary. This is like the Industrial Revolution back in those days, and then we had the internet, right? The internet era, and now the AI era. So this is a whole new thing. It's not a bubble. Remember the various bubbles? I don't see this as a bubble, but we'll see. What do I know? They didn't ask me. So anyway, so far inflation jumped largely energy, right? Because of the oil situation and Strait of Hormuz. That's headline news. Headline. Oh, there's a war going on. Oil's going up. That's the kind of inflation rather than an economic boom that is creating inflation, which is more of an infrastructure, harder to get under control type of inflation. That kind of core CPI excludes food, energy, but that sort of that economic infrastructure type inflation is hard to control because now you have to raise interest rates and the market is like that and everything else. The inflation that we are seeing is all oil related right now, right? The price of oil goes up, transportation costs for everything goes up, and expect it to be a very temporary kind of a situation. Kind of like income tax. Wasn't income tax temporary? All right, here's what happened last week. All three indices here, S&P 500, Dow Jones, Nasdaq, all went up 0.7%. All right, that's data from Manulife, by the way. Year to date, S&P is up 9.2%, Dow 7.4, and the Nasdaq still almost 12%, 11.7% year to date on that. All right, let's see what's going on coming up next week. Tomorrow we've got the Empire State Manufacturing Index, also known as the New York State Manufacturing Index. Tuesday, building permits, housing starts. ADP weekly employment change. Wednesday, the big news. The big news is going to be Wednesday. All eyes are going to be on the Fed Reserve interest rate announcement. We're also going to have pending home sales and retail sales. Those are going to take a minor sort of a backseat, effect, but everybody's going to be watching the Fed Reserve. I should actually make this, really highlight it. If I make this red, how does that look? All right, that's the important one, Fed Reserve. Okay. Thursday, you're going to pull back unemployment claims, Philly Fed Manufacturing Index, and Friday, no trading. Everything is closed, Juneteenth Day, so we got a bank holiday. Now, I don't think this is going to affect it because the markets are closed, but yeah, the banking holiday is. I was going to say, and again, I don't think this applies anymore because they eliminated the $25,000 rule. But it used to be when you could only just trade what you had in your cash account. You had to watch for those banking holidays because sometimes the market is open, but the banks are closed. So you had to take into account that day that the banks are closed because otherwise you'll get a notice that you're in violation of that the situation, but it should be good. So Friday, it's going to be a very kind of a quiet day, and nothing's going to happen there. So here's what the volatility I figure is going to be like. Medium on Monday and Tuesday, high Wednesday and Thursday, no trading on Friday, but whenever President Trump speaks, expect elevated volatility. And no doubt on Wednesday it's going to be high as well because of the Fed announcement, right? Fed announcement. All right, it's now 8:30 according to my clock here. 8:29, almost going to be 8:30 in about a few seconds. Let's just take a look here. Again, questions box is open. We'll get to the questions in a little bit. Let's take a look at our 2-minute tutorial tonight, folks. 2-minute tutorial. Tonight's topic, IPO fever. This is the big topic all week long. Oh my gosh, SpaceX, we're going to Mars, Jupiter, Venus, we're going to Pluto, we're going to Uranus. Well, let's not go there. Um, that's a really bad joke. I apologize. All right, IPO fever. All right, now listen. Historically, initial public offerings, IPOs, significantly, you're not going to believe this, underperformed the broader market during the first year. I know everybody gets excited. They want to get into these things. Mega cap debuts often generate massive first day pops driven by retail euphoria and institutional demand. I don't have the numbers handy. I knew this. I knew this at one time. Let me get this corrected here. But I don't have the numbers as to how much institutions put into the SpaceX this year. I look at a lot of data. It was a lot of money, a lot of money. And chances are, if you had any kind of a long-term mutual fund investment or something, chances are your financial advisors have some money in SpaceX. All right. I was talking to one of the guys I know, a good friend of mine, and in fact, he has some of my long-term investments, retirement savings account. I talked to Jeff. His name is Jeff. I talked to him the other day. I said, Jeff, I just want to make sure you don't go real heavy into SpaceX. Oh no, no, we got a few. We got a little bit, but not a lot. Not so much. I said, okay, thank you on that. Just want to make sure. Historical data shows a steep uphill battle for investors in the subsequent 12 months after the IPO. All right, now SpaceX. Let's talk about that just for a second here. This is the proceeds. Look at that, $75 billion they're looking at making here. SpaceX, the largest IPO in history here. We had some of these other companies with their IPOs. Meta Platforms, 16 billion. I mean, these were big. Alibaba, 21, almost 22. Uber Technologies, Blackstone, all the way down here. They were nothing. They were nothing compared to SpaceX. Another reason I kind of shy away from going really heavy into SpaceX is basically one guy, Elon Musk. Now, let's not kid ourselves. The guy is a genius. The guy is an absolute genius. Like him, love him, hate him, whatever. Came with PayPal. Let me see, PayPal. Then went to Tesla. He had the flamethrower in there. The Boring Company. What's that other one? Neuro something where he something in the brain implants. He's got in all kinds of stuff. SpaceX is just one more toy for him. And I don't know. I mean, can you imagine that? I just took $2 trillion out of the economy, and I'm just going to move to Mars. I can just see it. But I guess if anybody can do it, it'll be him, right? So there's going to be a lot of exciting times ahead. I hope I live long enough to see, some colony, setting up in Mars or something. You never know. You know, the guy's a genius, and he's going to make it happen. Anyway, that's kind of where SpaceX is, by far the largest IPO in history. I don't think anybody's going to come close to that. All right, some more IPO data here that you might want to know about before you jump in and sell everything you own and mortgage the house and throw it all into SpaceX. Tech and mega cap IPOs, initial public offerings, average first day price increase above 35%, but this momentum rarely holds. Most new listings undercut their first day lows within 3 weeks. And according to Edward Jones, the average tech IPO drops to a minus 3% after only 3 months, plummets down to 14% after 6 months. And every single major tech IPO experiences a significant drawdown during its first year. Nearly 60% of IPOs trade flat or lower a few years down the road. So if you're looking at throwing, your life savings and your kids and grandkids' inheritance into SpaceX, you might want to think twice or at least consider that this is a very long-term out. And I get it. These people say, well, if you'd have bought Apple when it was only, yeah, well, did you? You didn't? Oh, and did you? And you did? And yet, did you hold it all this time? Do you hold it for the last 30, 40 years? Probably not. Same with Tesla, same with all of them, right? But it's kind of interesting to know that if you're looking for a quick hit on these things, it may not come. And I don't believe you can buy SpaceX, but I don't think you can sell it for a while. By the way, SpaceX is not going to be on the S&P 500. I believe they have to wait a year or something, although it will be listed on the Nasdaq if it's not already. Some IPOs that tanked this first year, take a look at some of these numbers. Robinhood, that's right, Robinhood. This is the company, the trading company, right? They plunged over 84% from its IPO highs. So I'm just taking a drink here. Some other notable companies, Groupon, well, they cooled 80% within the first 8 months. Zynga, once buzzing gaming company, that shed 80%. I'm not familiar with this, but I'm not a gamer. Pets.com, remember this one? Oh, all the excitement around this on the internet, through the internet hype, Bubble, the bubble, yes, Pets.com, that was massive, debuted at $11 a share. I don't know what the IPO numbers were on this one, but it was huge. Within a year, they went bankrupt. That's right. They were pushing roses. All right, here's an interesting one. Actually, a buddy of mine got this Canopy Growth. I remember my friend. He used to tell me, "Oh, you gotta buy Canopy. It's gonna go to the moon." And Canada just formalized legalization of recreational pot and blah blah blah. I said, "Oh, I'm not touching it. I don't touch the pot. I don't touch the stock." I said to him, "Be careful. Everybody's getting into this thing. It's gonna, oversupply or something's gonna happen. You're not gonna make your money." And I remember my friend. He bought. He bought. I hope he's not on watching this. I don't want to. I'm not gonna center him out, but let me see if he is on here real quick. I don't want to center him out. Okay, I don't think he's on. Maybe he is. Oh well. No, so he told me bought Canopy and a lot of it at something like $57 a share or something. Last I talked to him, it was worth like 18 cents, some ridiculous thing. And he says, "Well, too late now. Might as well just hold on to it. And who knows? It's not worth anything now." Anyway, there was a massive surge from 2014 for this Canopy Growth, unprecedented bull run, driven by hype surrounding the Canada's formal legalization. Stock exploded to $790 a share, making that the world's most valuable marijuana stock. Well, didn't go as to plan. Canopy is now facing a severe operational restructuring. Their stock, which is on the Toronto Stock Exchange under WEED, WEED, it shed virtually all its historical gains, currently valued at about $1.41 on the TSX. Uh, so there you go. There you go. I hope you guys didn't jump into that one, but sorry to hear if you did. Anyway, that's kind of the reason. So I guess what I'm trying to say here is, yes, lots of euphoria around SpaceX, but don't go crazy. Put a few bucks into that. It could be a longer term out before you see any, real, growth on that. But you never know. What do I know? I'm just going by historical data from other stocks that had all the hype and all the potential, and they eventually did come around. A lot of them, but a lot of them did not. So, folks, we are doing the 2026 goal. What we're doing here is basically jumping in at the beginning of the year, January. We have this thing where if you were to buy only five contracts of the stock that John and I narrate, that we talk about in the trading room, and all the trading room trades are included in this. This is where you would be right now. Includes all this is the data right up until last Friday. Or last Friday is a couple days ago, right? So you'd be up $26,610 less commission. And this Friday we had a little bit of a, not we, me. I had a little bit of a loss at $785. But that's kind of where it sits right now. Net for the day minus 250. But overall, we're up 26,610. Not as high as we'd like it to be, but again, you're only buying five contracts, so your average investment is somewhere around. Well, we're looking here around probably $3,000, $4,000, maybe not even four, but probably around 3,000 some. In some cases, right down to 2,500. But basically, you're in there looking for basically just a few minutes. I mean, that's sort of the idea. But trying to get out of this thing at a nice little profit. But you'd be up overall if you're to just buy having bought five contracts at a time. All right, I'm going to tell you what we have, folks. I know some new people are online. Then we'll get to the questions. But I want to explain to you that DayTradeSPY actually has multifaceted, approach to trading. All right, we don't just day trade options. I mean, we do, but we also have, training. And one of the most uh, the best deal really is the inner circle, which everybody should be on. Everybody, even if you only use it once a week, this is a real value item because you're going to get the morning market analysis. Every morning we determine the best, the best approach this spy is probably going to take for that day. We analyze, we take all the data, all the news feeds, all the various Twitter, X feeds, different things that we look at, throw it all into a mix master there and just see what comes out of it. And we bake the cake. We say, okay, it looks like the market's going to go up, it's going to go down, whatever it is. So what we do is we save you a whole ton of effort, time, energy, and um, chances are you might miss something, right? But we sort of catch everything. Now, quite frankly, we're not smart enough to know where the stock's going to be a year from now, or 6 months from now, or even a month from now, or heck, I don't even know where it's going to be a week from now, right? But we have a pretty good idea, John and myself. We have a pretty good idea as to where it's going to be, today, and that's exactly what we do. We give you this all in a morning market analysis. It comes out right around 9 o'clock, goes right into your inbox. So we do the heavy lifting, so you don't have to. You'll also get a follow-up report as to what we actually did later that day, and you'll be invited to our Wednesday night interactive meetups. Now, this is where we can bring your questions and just about anything at all, whether it's, excuse me, our chart patterns, the setups, the indicators we use, how we did that day, trading, anything at all. Chart setups, we used Schwab, Thinkorswim. I mean, it's all there. Okay, it's all there. Concise, informative, all you need in one report. And again, let us do the heavy lifting. Now, here's the best price. $299 a year. Seriously, it's only $5.75 a week, 75 cents a week. Less than a newspaper subscription, as I understand it, if they even have that anymore. I don't know, but this is real value stuff. This is material you can use right away. And again, if you don't subscribe to anything else, everybody, whether you're a seasoned trader or newbie, this is where you need to be, and you will get all kinds of great information on the inner circle. All right. Now, a lot of people just want to be told what to do. They're looking for an alert, an alert. A lot of people, are busy in the morning. They can't be in the trading room. They're, taking the kids to school or doing whatever they're doing. They're on their way to work or whatever. However, you still want to get a signal that you think that, okay, this is a good trade. We see a good thing setting up. So I think I'm going to subscribe to this. This is our famous day trade spy signal. This is sent to your cell phone and email 3 to 5 times a week. It's algorithm based. So in a particular setup, in a particular um, yes, setup in a very broad sense happens, you're going to get this signal that to immediately buy. With the first 2 minutes of getting the signal, you should buy. Okay, you should buy it and and immediately put it up for sale for 5% gain. Now, the way this program works, if it's not sold by 4 p.m., sell at the market close. Now, every now and then, right, it might turn into a bit of a loss, but we have this calculated in there as if it was to have sold at 4 o'clock. Even with that, it's doing extremely well. I don't have the data here in front of me as to how well it's doing. I want to say 88, 90% or something like that. Could be more. Now, those people that understand the system, you might even want to hold on to it overnight because a lot of times, even though it might be at a bit of a loss at 4 o'clock the next day, it actually produces the profit that is intended. Regardless, it costs $14.95 a year or $3.99 a quarter. $3.99 a quarter. And if I look at that, we're talking about what is that? $133 a month. So it's about $30 a week. Really good deal for an alert that we determined to be a very good, high propensity, high likely, high confident, high probability trade. Now, that's an algorithm based, goes to your cell phone. Now, we also have the pick of the day, which is predetermined manually. John and I, we get together, we discuss where's the market going to go today, up or down. So we actually actively look at that. It's not algorithm based, but we look at all of the inputs and we determine, okay, is this going to go up or down? And then we email this to you just after 9 o'clock. Look, this program here, the pick of the day, looks to buy right at the market open. So when the opening bell comes, and if the pick is a call and the market pressure is to the upside, buy it right away. Buy it right away. Put it up for sale for a 6% gain. If not sold by 6 p.m., sell it at market close. That's really kind of the way it works. Okay. Now, if the stock is going against you, right? Let's say the pick is a call, but the market's going against you. Wait till it turns around. You see the green coming back, then buy it, and you should be good. $3.99 a quarter, $14.95 a year, same as the signal. They trace by signal. Our most popular, I guess, well, actually, they're all very popular, but I think our most coveted program is actually the trading room. Everybody loves the trading room. And there's a reason that people go in the trading room and they're there for years and years and years, all right? Some people have been there for many, many years. This is hosted by John and myself. We are professional traders. This is what we do. This is not something we do on the side, and then we go do, we don't have another job. I mentioned earlier that John is a litigation lawyer. Well, he's a lawyer, but he's not practicing law anymore. This is what he does. He trades and he takes care of his animals. He's got a ranch in Texas. Okay, so and he goes rides his horses, whatever he does. But anyway, because he does what he likes to do, because why? He's making money trading. Anyway, same with me. I like to do other things too, right? Anyway, this is the trading room. It's an interactive session. A lot like this. You're gonna, punch up your questions in the questions box. We answer the questions, learn and earn, right? Fully narrated. This is where our strategies come alive every morning, 9:20 to 10:30 Eastern Time. Just like with the Inner Circle Wednesday night webinar, the trading room is also recorded and available for you for later review, which is ideal for those people living, on the other side of the world that may not be able to make it for the morning. Folks, $24.95 a year, $6.99 a quarter, best value. And if you know what calls and puts are, this is where you need to be. I had somebody a while back say to me, well, Hugh, I don't really understand the strategy, so I don't think you're going to be in the trading room. So I asked him, I said, well, do you know what calls and puts are? I said, oh, yeah. Great. Well, this is where you need to be because this is where we teach you our strategies. All right. We teach you, we train you, we go through the whole thing. We give, nothing is off the table. Everything is right there. There's no secret. There's no secret indicator that we use and that we trade. No, no, no. Everything that we know, we teach you everything we do. and we do everything we teach. Best value, folks, at 6.99 and a quarter. This is the value of a Subway, half a Subway lunch, Subway sandwich lunch. The You can pick the pockets of two professional traders. All right. So here's the real cool thing about all our programs offer a 30-day money-back guarantee. Absolutely no lose situation. By the way, if you didn't get the QR codes earlier on, don't worry about it because we will be displaying them at the end of the session anyway. So we will give you those later. All right. All right, folks, 30-day money-back guarantee. If you don't like it, you simply give us a call back and you say, hey, it's not for me. Can I have my money back? Say, yep, no problem. All right. Okay. All right. We had a beachside chat. We used to have the fireside chat all winter long, but now it's summertime, and I'm going to tell you, it's beautiful out here. I'm sitting at the beach right now. We've got a little beach house here, and what's happening is my cat is walking on my desk here in front of me. You might see her tail flying around in front of the camera. Anyway, let's look at the questions. All right. Excuse me. All right, since pre-market doesn't determine which way the market is really going to move, well, we get a lot of who did that? Was that Kurt? Let me take a look at that. Kurt. We get a lot of great information in pre-market as to which way the market's going to go. There she goes. Come on, get out of the way, you rat. So oh no, we look at so when we do the pre-market pick of the day or in that analysis in the pre-market, we look at both fundamental analysis and technical analysis, and we marry the two, right? Bring them together, and we say, well, we think the market's going to go up, and here's why. But right now it's coming down, and here's why. And we see this incredible chart pattern forming. We think it's going to hit this little level of support, and for whatever reason, and we're going to see the little pop to the upside. Now, it may not happen right away, all right? It may actually not happen until later in the morning, as often happens. But at some time during the day, the market should deliver that 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 profit that we anticipate. Okay, a lot actually goes into that. So it's not just willy-nilly pulling a direction out of the air. That's not it at all. Not it at all. So, and you are in Washington. Good to see that, Kurt. Irving and Cincinnati. All right. Let's see. Question is sim trading, cash trading different? Okay, so by law, we can only show you our sim accounts, but we also trade live, in which we also tell you, okay, this is our real trades. We can tell you that, but we have to show you sim charts. Now, our sim charts are not delayed. They run the same concurrent. There might be a couple seconds different, but nothing material that is going to offset upset the apple cart here. Okay, so we do have to show you sim charts, but that's by law. But we actually do both sim and real trades, John and myself. So, all right, pre-market hit the moon. Trump signed a deal with Iran. Really? Let me just take a look. I wonder if I have that up here. Let me take a look here. Okay. Ooh, wow. Okay, here is SPY pre-market. Let me just take a look at the. I kind of want to get down to this thing here. Hang on a second. I want to take a look here. Okay, I want to get this. Hang on. I want to get this cleared up a little bit here. So what? Let's take a look here. Wait a second. I just want to get this out of the way here and pull it out. Reconfigure this so that it's easily um, so you can actually see it easier. I'm going to make this one chart and get rid of the indicators that are actually clouding the situation. So I just want to get the numbers on here. Okay, bear with me. And if this holds into tomorrow, we could see a very nice positive day. Not really sure if any of you are holding call options, but it looks like the futures are currently up on the S&P, 73, $74, 485, 486 for the Nasdaq, and the Dow's up 393. Oil down a little bit, perfect, right? Oil prices are going to come down, and the gold is up 75.50. Wow. So we closed Friday. Our closing price was 741.63, and 741.63 right around here. And if this holds true into tomorrow morning, we could see a very nice blip to the upside, 741 up to 749. Can you imagine that having a $7, $8 pop to the upside tomorrow if anybody's sitting in calls? Very nice. All right. So if that is the case, it looks like Trump signed a peace deal. And you know what? Frankly, it would be really nice. It would really be nice if they did have sort of, a permanent peace in the Middle East. Very poetic. Isn't that poetic? Maybe I should be a poet. Permanent peace in the Middle East. And if Trump does that, that will be his legacy because as far as ever, they have been fighting. They have been fighting. So we'll see. We'll see. It's one of those things I will believe it when I see it, but we'll see. Okay, rule number one, if the stock is going against us at the market open, wait until it turns around. Wait until it turns around. Don't just jump in. The stock is going against. You can see the pressure. Okay, you'll see red candle forming if it's a call option. Wait until it starts turning green. Pressure's back to the upside. You'll see it. You'll see the push up. Market the candles green to the upside. Then get in. Right. Okay, let's take a look here. Okay. All right. Question here from Mark. What's your best guess why a bunch of other companies here, and other secondary funds that held a fair percentage of SpaceX in their portfolios are all down? SpaceX isn't. I guess they bought more SpaceX on IPO day, diluting their shares. Yeah, I could see that happening. Exactly. So a lot of these, well, I don't know, like some of these funds that bought into SpaceX in a big way, they could be diluting their portfolios with SpaceX. I don't know how much they bought, but that could be the thing. So you're probably looking at a very long-term um, return on your investment with SpaceX. Now, I could be wrong. Now, this could be the complete outlier stock that's going to just blow everything out of the water. I have no idea. It depends. I mean, again, Musk is a pretty intelligent guy. I don't know how he figures there's going to be, these lofty ambitions he has, but we'll see. It's just a wait, we'll see. All right. Question, what do you mean if the market is going against us? How do you measure it? How do you determine whether or not the market is going against you? Okay, so look at a 1 minute chart. All right, so let's say you get the pick of the day, all right? And same with the signal, the day trade spy signal. So you get the signal and the pick. Let's say it's a call option. Call. So you want to buy it when it's going to the upside. So look at your 1 minute chart. That's what's going to tell you. And you will see the candlestick forming. You'll see the pressure on the candle going up. I like to have my up candles in green and the down candles in red. Um, and so if I see a lot of, green in that first minute candle pushing up, then I buy it right then. If I see it red and the pick was a call option, then I will wait. I'll go red, maybe another red, maybe a third red. But at some point, it's going to find support and start pushing green. So buy it then when you start seeing the pressure back to the upside. Okay, because what we're doing is we are determining around 9 o'clock which way it's going to go. But the markets can and do change between 9 and 9:30. We're not talking about a trend. We're talking about very short-term spikes or blips in the action, right? But our long-term frame of mind would be to the upside. So let's say it's 9:32, and that's when you see the green pressure back to the upside. Buy it then. Now here's another little tip. Sometimes when let's say it's green and you're going in and you see the bid ask say the bid is $5 and the ask is 510. So you put up your order for 510. And it comes back rejected because now it's 515 or 512, 512, 513. Oh, okay, I missed it. I'll go back in for 512. You go 512 for the ask price. Reject it again because now it's 515, 516. You keep doing this. And eventually you get it, but you get it when the stock starts coming back down. Well, you don't want to buy it when the stock's coming down. You want to buy it when it's going up, right? So here's a tip. Let's say the bid ask is $5 and 510, and you want it. It's pushing to the upside. It's going up. It's going up, right? Instead of the ask price at 510, put your order in for say 512 or 513. I get it. It's counterintuitive. You're saying, well, I'm giving the market the ask price. It's just that by the time it gets down to the market, that ask price has now gone up. But if you go a couple of cents, 2 or 3 cents higher than the ask price, kind of puts you to the front of the line, and chances are you're going to get it. Not only are you going to get it, but you're actually going to get it for the market price or that price. So you may actually get it for 510, but you're prepared to spend 513 for it. Well, you're going to grab it for 513. Then by the time you get it, that price is probably 515, 518, 520, whatever. People often ask, well, Hugh, how come you get it and I don't? Well, that's how I do it. All right, that's how I do it. So always put in an order for a little more than the ask price when the market is moving huge like that. You don't want to get it when it's gone already, make the move. You want to get it while it's making the move to the upside. So, all right, Garth. What is the phone number to talk to an agent for you at Eagle Publications? I got a phone number for him. That number is 570-567-0426. I am going to put that number in the thing here, okay, on the PowerPoint. So let me just figure out how to do that. Bear with me. Okay, so I use a PowerPoint. Insert text box right here. And I'm going to say this here. Eagle. All right, here's their phone number, right? 570-567-0426. Okay, somebody's asking what's the phone number for Eagle. Well, that's it right there. 570-567-0426. Okay, if you want to write that down there, Garth. All right. Some of these trades, the pick of the day, they close in a minute or two. Are they buying right at 6:30? I guess you're in West Coast there, Kurt. Do you wait for the candle to show it's moving in the right direction? So as soon as, for example, again, getting back to if it's a green candle, as soon as they did, just get in and buy it. The decision is made. There's nothing else there's no confirming candle. There's none of that. As soon as the pressure is going to the upside of that, just buy it right there and immediately put it up for sale for 6% profit target. Now, some of these trades actually do close in about a minute or two or three, but usually they go much higher. So even if you didn't get the close right then and you sort of got it a little bit later, you'll probably get filled pretty good the next little while because they do actually pretty good. So, all right. Okay, let's see. Last week, selling at $11 and up. My plans to buy when it's under $8. Okay, so I don't know what the price of the option is. And people sometimes ask us, say, well, can you put an option price to buy it at? The answer is no, we can't because we don't know what the option price is going to be. You see, we send out those picks at around 9 o'clock, a little after 9. And what happens is the the option market opens at 9:30. And that's when all the option prices settle in. So we have no idea what the option price is going to be until the market opens. But don't worry about it because if you pay $10 for an option, then when you sell it, hopefully it'll be for $10.50 or $10.30 or something, right? You'll get all your money back when you go to sell it. So that's not an issue. All right. Okay, so you know what? It's actually 9:01. And there's now time to play, ladies and gentlemen. Pick a number between 1 and 100. And I'm going to pull up our famous uh, DayTradeSPY random number generator. And I'm going to run the generator. I'm going to fire up the generator here, and and we're going to see what the random number is going to be. And the person closest to it is going to win the prize, which is going to be the ebook Triumphs and Tragedies. True stories about people that have come through our program over the years, and some pretty entertaining stories as well. So we'd like to share those. All right. All right. So right now I'm going to give you about 30 seconds to punch up in the questions box your number between 1 and 100, and I'm going to pull up the random number generator. That is not the number, folks. 58 is not the number. In fact, I'm going to put it over there just to get out of the way. All right. And we're going to run the generator. And if there's a tie, let's say two people are within, say, 2 points of it, you both get the ebook. All right. So it's actually pretty exciting. Something we do every week here. And let me see what else I can do here. I gotta show, I gotta bring this up here. And okay, cool. All right. Okay. All right, there we go. Okay, so 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I've got everybody's number. Okay, James K is the last one. All right, so now I'm going to bring up the number generator. Where did I go? Right here. Where did I come on? Bring it over. Can't see. I'm trying to bring it over here. Oh, yeah, what's going on here? Okay, I'm gonna hit this button right. Okay, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The number is 20. Random number generator is 20. Let me take a look at all those people that had put their numbers on. Oh, okay. Kurt, Kurt J came in at 21. Okay. Do we have a 20? No. Okay. All right. Kurt J. All right. Congratulations, Kurt. The ebook will be shortly coming into your inbox. Congratulations on that. All right. That's awesome. He came in at number 21. Is that right? 21? I think it was 21. Uh, yeah, 21. 21. There it is right there. Beautiful. All right, all right, we're going to wrap this one up here, get that out of the way, save that. Okay, there we go. All right, folks, been a pleasure, and thanks for joining us. And oh, yes, I have those QR codes if you are interested in any of our services, gives you more information and a way to subscribe. So please click on the QR codes, and we'll see you the next time. Good night, everybody.
Shine brighter than the moon and the sun. Be great at what you do. Give it all of you. And trust the process and keep your eyes on the prize. I can tell you what I'm seeing. You can have